This was me, insecure, had no confidence and was invisible to people. This is me now. I'm way more confident. I like the way that I look and I get more attention from girls. In this video, I'm gonna tell you 4 reasons why your physique matters way more than you think and how you can get similar results to me but way faster. Number 1, first impressions is everything. I don't know about you, but when I was fat back in the day, I had such a hard time getting to know new people. Without me even speaking a single word to them, and they didn't speak to me either. I just felt that they treated me differently, compared to my friends who were in way better shape than I was. Even though they didn't say anything personally to me, I could just feel that the energy was so different. They looked at me like I was below them simply by the way of my physique. And this is when I had to come to terms with that first impressions, right? They are so important when meeting new people, and especially when it comes to meeting girls. When I personally changed from looking like this to now looking like this, sure, I got more confidence, but my personality, right, it didn't change whatsoever. The only thing that actually changed was the way that my body looked. Just by me improving my physique, it's been a night and day difference, especially when I'm meeting new people for the first time. I mean, just think about this to yourself. I know you don't want to admit this, but it's actually the truth. When you talk to more attractive people, you just have this completely different energy to you. You're like way more positive and actually genuinely want to know more about them. If I were to talk to, 2 different people, they had the same personality, they had the same humor, and they talked in the same way, but one was more attractive than the other, I can honestly say I would be more interested in listening to the attractive person compared to the other one. So the big question is, how can you achieve this for yourself? The honest truth is, right, that you have to get your lazy ass just go into the gym and start eating better. It's not more complicated than that. But the good thing is for you, it's actually not as hard as you think to start looking better almost immediately. What I did at the start to make good progress was simply to clean up my eating environment. The easiest way, right, to start eating healthier is to simply not have the bad foods easy to access in your home to begin with. How can you eat chocolate or, chips or whatever you can think of if you don't even have it in your home to begin with? I know this sounds so obvious, but trust me, it's way more powerful than you actually think. Now, as of exercising, the most important thing, in my opinion, is to put more muscle on your frame. And I do this by going to the gym, but you can also do it with like bodyweight exercises or whatever you can think of. Now, if you feel like you want my personal help to guide you step by step along the way to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, just like me in this picture right here, then click the first link in the description. To help you along the way, I'll include a 3-day workout routine on the screen right now that you can copy to get started in the gym. Start seeing it as a new lifestyle for yourself where the mission is to look good and to feel good at the same time. And just trust me when I say this, you will get results way faster than you think. Number 2, it makes you stronger physically and mentally. Before I started getting in shape, I can honestly say I was a complete loser. I was overweight. I had no confidence. And when people were talking to me, right, I couldn't even make eye contact for like more than 5 seconds before looking away because I was so insecure. I can still remember to this day the first time that I finished a workout and that my mental health was just drastically better. Sure, like I was still fat, right? But my mental health completely changed forever from that single workout. Working on my body became this mission that I got so excited for. Just in the same way, when you're playing video games, you have this quest that you want to finish and then you just keep going. I felt the same way about working on my body. It gave me this sense of purpose that I didn't know that I needed in the first place. I know you probably heard like so many times, right, that getting in shape has completely changed people's lives. But just trust me when I say this, there's a reason why people keep saying it over and over and over. You and me, we probably have the same starting point as well. Either you're skinny or you're overweight like I was when I first started. And you constantly feel that you lack a sense of direction. You're just living your life over and over and over, autopilot every single day. And you don't like it whatsoever. So what I'm trying to say is once you decide, to get your body in shape, you will never look back again. The benefits you will feel, especially when it comes to your mental health, will almost be instant. As humans, we need to have a sense of purpose, a mission that you can work towards that actually improves yourself for the future. Because when we don't have this, right, That's when we live every single day on autopilot, over and over and over. And before you know it, years will pass and you have nothing to show for. So if you feel like you lack a sense of purpose, then let getting in shape be that mission that you work towards. Because in the end, right, it's such a win-win situation. It's a no-brainer when you really think about it. You get to work on yourself every single day to improve yourself for the future. Meanwhile, when you do it, you get all the benefits along the way. There's literally no downside to actually working on your body. Not only will you feel the benefits of improving yourself, but you also get a sense of fulfillment that you never had before. I mean, honestly, bro, it doesn't get better than this when it comes to having a mission in your life. Just trust me when I say this. Number 3, you get the power to inspire others. Be honest with yourself. When you see someone that has a good physique, right, you just get this internal push to go and get it yourself. That's exactly what happens to me. And this is without even speaking a single word to that person. It's like they give off this invisible energy that you just feel inside of you. Just the presence of someone having a good physique, it almost feels magnetic to you, when you really think about it. So why not give that energy to other people when you have the option to be that magnetic person? Me personally, I've been working on my body for quite some time, and I didn't really hear about people following in my footsteps until recently. My cousin had DM'd me on Instagram, right? And he told me that he had lost over 50 pounds simply by just following my advice. And I had no clue about it whatsoever. I had just been doing my regular things. I worked out and I was eating good, and I was just posting it on social media in general. And without me even knowing about it, right, I had completely changed my cousin's life simply just by having a presence. Now, why I'm telling you this is because you have the power to do the exact same thing, just like I did to my cousin. You have the power to inspire people without you even knowing about it, simply just by the way that you look. You don't even have to speak a single word. Just by you showing up and actually looking good, that can get people to actually get started. If you don't feel motivated enough to get in shape simply for yourself, then do it for the people that you love. Become the role model in fitness that other people can start looking up to, and show them that it's actually possible to change, just if you want it bad enough. I mean, honestly, isn't this amazing when you think about it? You have the option to start improving yourself. Meanwhile, unconsciously, you're improving other people just by your work ethic and the way that you look. It's a complete win-win situation. In my opinion, it doesn't get any better than that. Number 4, every aspect of your life becomes easier. I can honestly say, right, that getting in shape has helped me in every area of my life. Whatever you can think of, social skills, dating, money, whatever you can think of, right? Getting in shape has been the foundation of all of it. Especially in social settings, right? It really helped me like nothing else. Simply by the way that I looked, people started giving me more respect. They were genuinely interested in talking to me simply by the way that they looked. You just give off this different energy without even saying a single word. However, the biggest benefit that I got so far is improving my mental health. Getting in shape and, getting the body, that's a bonus. But the biggest benefit, in my opinion, is the mental health. Before I started getting in shape, right, I was so unconfident. I didn't like the way that I looked. And every single time I stepped outside, I was always covered in oversized clothing because I didn't want to show my body. Compare that to nowadays. I can literally put on a $5 t-shirt and make it look good simply because I improved my body. When you finally get the feeling that you're getting more confident when you didn't have any confidence back in the day, that is a very hard feeling to describe. Just trust me when I say this. It's like you're on top of the moon. Now, why I keep talking about this over and over and over is because I want you to realize that getting a good physique will actually solve so many problems, way more than you actually think. When you really think about it, right, most problems in our lives, they stem from 2 different things. Mental health problems or physical health problems. When you start getting in shape, both of them at the same time are drastically improving and actually also way faster than you think. I can say with hand on my chest, and I'm being honest here, that the gym has saved my life. Before this, right, I had no sense of purpose whatsoever. I was wasting my life away just playing video games, eating junk food, and feeling sorry for myself. And when I started going to the gym, it completely changed everything for me. Just do yourself the favor and get started, because once you actually do and you start to see the benefits, you are gonna wish yourself, and I promise that this will happen, you will wish to yourself that you started way sooner than you actually did. Now, if I wanted to lose belly fat completely from scratch, there are a few specific things that I would do. And in this video, I talk more about them.